welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hello guys, my name is Melani, Saskya, Firanda, Putri. In this video, we will talk about aeration with WWTP and coagulation. By the way, we often don't realize that the features of aeration are often around of such as wave at sea, water loop, aquarium, and many more. Clear water is not necessarily drinkable. Ions are dissolved in oxygen, but the water that is clean when filtered but has high ion level is not good for environmental health. So, aeration must be carried out. Aeration will help the ion oxidation of dissolved ions. Dissolved ion cannot be filtered out but if after brain oxidation. Aeration is maximizing the contact between water and air, which aims to increase oxygen, so that the increasing time of injection of air into raw water will maximize the contact of water with air, so that dissolved oxygen will be more and more. Type aeration is two. The first is natural aeration. The natural aeration example is on beach or the river. Aeration even such as real water in the river, wave on the beach layer aeration. The beach or the sea does not stop giving waves. The fine-grained beach and sand come from seawater which is rich in iron. This iron is not only from NaCl or salt, but also a combination of alkaline earth is NaCl, KCl, Na+, with halogen. The wave hitting the rock. The wave that hit the coral beach will attack a new layer, so that it will be stronger. This even is the same as the cross on the bedroom wall. Water that is exposed to the wall will form a thin layer, and then direct contact with air finally has a greater potential. This layer will form layer and then become crust, so the coral is not destroyed by the wave, but the wave will strengthen the coral. This is the same as a crackle or clamp if the trigger is indicator that is getting older. Aeration on light. Aeration pump, industrial blowers are used to pump air into the water. Example of the use of an aerator pump is a wastewater treatment plant system. Besides that, an aquarium aerator or aquarium pump is used to blow air into the water. If the aerator is turned off, the fish in the aquarium will die. This is because the amount of oxygen in the aquarium is only small. Oxygen water means this water is pumped with oxygen. Usually this kind of oxygen of water is healthy. When oxygen is pumped into the water to increase dissolved oxygen. Aeration on the beach or sea. In the sea is rich in iron the mixed with oxygen. Dissolved oxygen in this water is very high. These marine biota and fish live because of the high aeration. The aeration that occurs in the presence of wave. When the wave takes place, there will be the entry of oxygen in the air into the water. When oxygen is too high, it's not only the biota that benefit algae and fish, but fish breathe with dissolved oxygen. If dissolved oxygen is high, it will cause the mineral in the sea to form oxide. Solid formed in the form of crystal which then gather together to form beach sand or aeration. How do the ion dissolve but then encounter dissolved oxygen in the water? The first redox reactions are very important in the chemistry of natural water environment and wastewater. The second, reduction of the oxygen by organic matter in the lake result in a decrease in oxygen concentration which is fatal to fish. The third, the rate of effluent oxidation is very important in the operation of effluent treatment plant. And last, reduction of iron 3 to dissolve iron in the reservoir cause iron removal problem in water treatment plants. Aeration on pool. Aeration in wastewater will have microbes in the water. Aeration will pass air into the water. The microbes will decompose organic compounds. Function aeration. The function aeration is to increase the amount of oxygen in the water to reduce the bad ion contained in the water that we might drink, to dissolve oxygen in the water so that it can be oxidized. There are many types of aerator. Is turbo aerator, centrifugal aerator, turbo aerator, surface aerator, membrane aerator, aerated tube, and diffuser. Ways of working the coagulation. Wastewater is given alone will be clear compared to water that is left alone. Then filtered will produce very clear water. And then wastewater treatment with alum is extended by stirring. So the interaction is high and result in this participation in the form of mixed solid, entering the salting pond or sedimentation basin of soaps, and then filtering in layer is called sand filtration. The way it works is using sand and the water spent is slowed. Ways to purifying and manage water, namely, the first is screening, where hair is given alum or aluminum sulfate to filter out impurities. And the two, coagulation, flocculation. Besides being given alum, water management is assisted by stirring. Then the dirty will settle more. And the third, clarification of sedimentation. A tool designed in such a way so that mud or dirty will collect, where this dirty will move very slowly so that it can be deposited. And then filtration. Many examples of filtration, but here we use slow sand filtration, in which the impurities are passed in a sand and the impurities are made slow. The sand surface to breathe it. This process is called absorption. uniform in liquid form. The reject colloidal system always repel because the charges are the same. When given a coagulation, it turns into an attraction. This can be layered, meaning the first layer took at it and the second then thickened is eventually setting. And the last, coagulation. Coagulation is the addition of chemical to destabilize the electrostatic force of unstable solid. Coagulant chemicals typically have a positive charge, which bind to the negative charge particle in water, neutralizing them and allowing them to come together to form small clumps of particles called microfoam. In the most cases, the chemical reaction occurs in a fraction of a second, so it's important the coagulation is tempered quickly and evenly to encourage as many particle collisions as possible. Because this process relies on chemical reaction, several considerations must be met. Water temperature, for example, colder water, usually slow. Coagulant and fluorescence reactor, which may require more the time the active optimal flux formation. Extreme value of pH, high or low, will allow interfere with the process. Coagulant effectiveness in highly dependent on pH. For some coagulant, alkalinity is a factor. Operator may need to raise alkalinity for coagulant to be effective when using iron or aluminum coagulant that can consume alkalinity and depress pH when they are added to low alkalinity water. Turbidity is also important. The lower the turbidity, the more difficult it is. From propeller flux, the most common coagulant chemical used is aluminum sulfate, commonly called alum. When added to water, alum forms jelly-like particles of aluminum hydroxide, the trivalent aluminum. Ion neutralize and attack to negatively charged particles in water, forming microfloc alum. Work best in a pH range of 5-27, 5 polyaluminum chloride and iron salt. Is ferric chloride and ferric sulfate are also used. The operation over a winter pH range. Coagulant and flocculant aids are added to improve bending, pull stronger, for more stable flux, and effect flocculation by increasing fluxate strength and or flux density. In addition, they help overcome the out of room temperature, reduce the amount of coagulant needed, and reduce the amount of sludge production. Commonly used coagulant aids include continuation polymer. Polymer are defined as a systemic compound with high molecular weight and composition of repeating chemical unit or monomer. Coagulation polymer may be polyelectrolyte, such as the water-soluble flocculants. Water is soluble in exchange resin or insoluble uncharged material. Polymers are long chains of molecules that produce highly charged ions and have been microflocked together into larger flock particles. They are very popular with operators because they are very effective and can be positive, negative, or neutral charges, preventing a great deal of flexibility in different circumstances. Okay, guys, thank you and see you again.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.